Parenting is like a marathon. It takes endurance, it takes strength, and a whole lot of faith to make it along that journey. And I can tell you this because I've run marathons. And I'm also a mom of three teenagers, and my oldest is 18 years old. So I've been in this long journey of parenting. I'm also a parent coach and pediatric occupational therapist. So I understand right where you are, parents. On today's show, we are going to dive into 5 reasons it might make more sense for you to work with me on a longer term, one on one basis to get help with your parenting, to connect with your kids. So there is peace and calm in your family. Those are the things that I help parents with every single day. The majority of parents that I work with, the families, the kids, I work with them for 2 months to probably 2 years. If I work with a family that has multiple kids and this particular family has found me when their oldest child is 2 or 3 years old, it is not uncommon for me to partner with these families for several years as they have multiple kids who have unique systems, sensory systems, muscle systems, movement systems in their unique places in their growth, development, their schools, all of it. So I help parents parent smarter, not harder. It is my goal to make your job as a parent easier. The reason I can do this is I have been helping parents for a very long time, and my education training background in occupational therapy allows for the lens that I look through to be from a body up approach. This is different than a lot of counselors, psychologists, parenting helpers, experts. I come at helping you understand your child's behavior from a body up approach. I work with a lot of kids in the ages of 3 to 8 to 12 because in the young ages, a child's physical body has so many changes going on at that time. And there are a lot of bumps or glitches, or I often say kinks in the hose. So there's some little things that aren't running smoothly in all the bodily systems in a child's body. And I can help parents understand that this tantrum, this outburst, this meltdown, this behavior that is difficult for parents to manage in their kids, what is it about that tantrum that is communicating something about how the child is feeling in the different systems of their body? So behavior is communication, and my job is to help parents understand from a body first approach what all these different systems are saying. And from that, kids and parents can get connected. The family life is calm. And all of this I do in a way that aligns with your faith, with my faith. I approach it the way God designed humans. So God created humans to be both similar to each other in that we all have a heart, we all have muscles. The ages, the stages of how we grow and develop look very similar, but God also designed us to be unique. So my sensory system looks different than all of my kids' sensory systems. And as a parent, your muscle system is different than each of your kids, and their balance and growth is a little bit different than yours. And so just knowing the similarities and the differences, we can get you on a peaceful parenting path connected to your kids that is aligned with your faith. Okay? So the majority of parents that I currently work with, I work with anywhere from 2 months to 2 years, because these parents understand there's so many growth and development stages in these young ages, and they want help. And I have been in this space for over 20 years. And so I can give you practical, quick things to put in place today to help make your parenting easier. And that's always my goal. If your job isn't easier, I'm not doing my job right. Okay. If you are new here today, you just found me, you know nothing about me. Occupational therapist, mom of 3, parent coach, helping families for over 20 years. So I've seen it, I've experienced all of it, and I can help you. Okay. So the 5 reasons it might make more sense to work with me on a longer term basis and on a one-on-one basis. So I have parents in a membership where every month they are given the resources that I provide. A lot of it is occupational therapy information, the things to know about the sensory system, the ways that I look at play, certain toys and games, and how to use these tools to help your kids build skills that they need for everything and everything they're going to do in their life. So we're building on these skills and healthy growth and development. I also, in my membership, offer a weekly coaching call. So a parent is going to come on and say, I have a problem with this. And I can give a practical tip and help in a 5 or 10 minute with this parent. But for families who need a little bit more support, this is what we're talking about today. What are those families? Who needs more support? What does that look like for your family? So the number one reason that I often work with families for long-term, very specific support is if they have had 2 or more major stressors. So maybe this family moved to a new town, new job for dad, new city, and they have a new baby. That's going to create some tension and some stress in the family life. And so that would be a reason that I would work more specifically with the specific things of this family. Another example is a family that is going through divorce and a change in a school for a child. Those are both 2 big things that can cause a young child to feel very unsettled and very unsafe. And again, in their body, their heart rate, their nervousness, their nervous system. These are 2 big things going on in their life that can make their body feel very unsafe and unsettled. And I want to help with that. Okay, another reason is when a child is exhibiting behavior for a lengthy amount of time and possibly at an age that it really isn't appropriate. So if a parent comes to me and said, yes, my 8-year-old has been acting like this, these extreme tantrums and outbursts for almost 2 years, and the age of 8 is on the older side to be having these really extreme tantrums, much different than a tantrum that a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old would have. So that would be a situation where I need to speak into that and provide more support than just a 5-minute call once a week. And again, these are parents who are, they want peace and calm in their family. And sometimes that one-on-one with me every week for a couple months allows for quick, efficient, specific help to their family. Okay, another reason that I am the one-on-one coaching for a parent and family could be a better option is because there is some type of really sensitive, complicated stuff going on. And so I have had interesting, families to work with over the years. I had a client who their daughter was 7 and had a really unique disease, and it limited her in different ways. And so she needed help getting, the path with her family. They had newly moved here from the West Coast. So we had lots of things that we were trying to get in place for their daughter to be supported in the best way possible. And so again, I'm always working for the smoothest, easiest way for the optimal, the best growth and development and peaceful functioning of the child and the family. Okay, another reason that I might work with a family on, again, a longer term basis and a one-on-one coaching session is if there are multiple professionals involved. So if there is something going on with a specific child or in this specific family that we need to work with other therapists. I often work with a speech therapist. I'm working with teachers. I'm working with learning specialists. I'm working with tutors, school administration. So my practice with occupational therapy, I want to cover all the bases. I want to make sure that child and parent, that child is supported in every environment that they go to. So I want to make sure when they go to school, they have the support that they need at school. And I want to make sure that's communicated to the teacher, to the gym teacher, to the music teacher, every aspect of that child's academic day. I want them supported. I also want to make sure if this child spends a lot of time with their grandparents, I want to make sure we've communicated to grandparents what's going on with this child. How can we support their optimal best functioning and development and feeling of safety? And so I want to connect all the dots to make sure children and parents and families are supported in the best way across every place that they interact with. The last reason I'm going to give you of why longer term, one-on-one coaching with me can be beneficial for your family for this specific time. And this is another thing is that, this parenting journey is a long time. It's probably about 25 years. And so getting support at these young ages sets you up for success later. And at the young ages, where so much is changing in a child's body, as they have a lot of growth right here at these first 5 to 6 years from birth to now, if we can help get this child understand their behavior, all their systems at these young ages, then they're smooth sailing. 12 to 13, the teenage years are a little bit bumpy. But again, we've set you up to know your child really well, their uniqueness, and what's specific to them, but also to know, okay, this stage is going to hit when they're 12 and they're, prepubescent. These are the bumps we can encounter. But at certain times in your child's development, there will be times when you need to be more supportive. And so this could be one of those times. Okay, the last reason I'm going to mention is just, again, if you have a family that has multiple children, multiple ages and stages, all these children interacting, that family interaction dynamic that is, looks like sibling conflict all the time. What do I do with that? And why was last week it totally fine between these two boys, 8 and 10? And now this week, it does not work at all. They cannot be in each other's company for 5 minutes. What? So again, all of those are things I can speak into because I work with multiple families for a very long time. Okay. My membership is where you can find me for a month. You can pay $49 and have access to me once a week in a group coaching experience. You can also find all kinds of resources for you to understand from an occupational therapy, parenting, interacting with kids and parents in your environment, lots of ways for you to set your kids up for success as they're building skills and growing and developing. And I give parents lots of information on things you can be doing to set yourself up for success. Okay, power struggles. What does that really mean? What do I do? Well, I recommend giving lots of choices, which is the opposite of what most parents think they should be doing if they are in a battle or power struggle with their kids. So there's so many different ways that you can get good information and support from resources that are in my membership. But the reasons we went over today, the 5 reasons that there might not be the membership is going to be the best for you at this moment. You can find me on my website, www.kellykshoup.com, or you can find me at Instagram. My handle is @kellykshoup. You can find a longer term coaching package where you get 10 sessions with me. So we're going to journey specifically for you, specific for your family, this date and time with this unique circumstance with each of your unique kids for a couple months to help you get through the struggles you're experiencing right now. They will not last because your children are growing and developing. They're in a stage, they're going to move out. They're in a stage, they're going to move out. And so their behaviors change and you're going, wait, what? What happened? We just figured out how to fix that. And now it looks different. And so I can help you just all along that long journey. It's a long path, just like that marathon. And when I was running marathons, I had an incredible group of women that were with me. They were a little bit further down the road than me. They could give me such good advice. I had injuries along the way. I had a stress fracture in one foot. I had IT band problems. And so when I was training for each of these races, each race that I did was different. It was in a different part of the country. It was a different season. One I ran in the summer, one I ran in the winter. So there were specific things I had to do to get prepared and set myself up for success to do these marathons. And that's exactly what I help parents do in this parenting journey that is long. But I love my job so much because you parents do an incredible job. You usually just need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of direction, simple, practical, logical steps, and you're off and running. You're on your own path for peaceful parenting, connection with your kids, And it's so fun.